Support for today's show comes from Grammarly. Grammarly is a service. It comes as a Chrome extension. It comes as a full-blown app at Grammarly.com. And frankly, it helps tremendously with writing. Even when I was just using the Chrome extension, it made a huge difference in my writing. And then for the books and articles I write, it has cleaned up my grammar tremendously. Use the link in the show notes. Frankly, they give me a few cents for every download and for every order. So please use the link in the show notes. Trust me, I really do use this product. It is terrific. And we'll be back in just one moment. This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 2229. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to Monday. And this is a question I received from someone wanting to know whether recruiters have ever been asked to use bait and switch tactics, to kind of persuade people on salary. Hope you find this helpful and give it an honest review wherever you listen to the show. I'll just remind you, Tuesdays at noon on LinkedIn, YouTube, and on the Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter Facebook page. I do a live show where I take Q&A from people. And if you have a question for me, the job search show, where I answer job search questions, is on Tuesday at noon. And I have a Friday at 9 a.m. show where I take questions that you can also email to me in advance related to hiring more effectively, managing and leading, resolving workplace-related issues. You can email questions in advance of the show to me at thebiggamehunter@gmail.com. And in the subject line, just put the phrase office hours so I know what it's about and can focus. Well, I can organize my messages in a way that I can have your question answered on the appropriate show. If you happen to be on LinkedIn or YouTube, you can do questions in chat while I'm doing the show, and I'd be happy to answer your questions regardless of subject, okay? Now, today's show is one related to recruiters and whether recruiters are ever asked to use bait and switch tactics. Hope you find this helpful and give it an honest review wherever you listen to it. And Friday, I'm doing a Clubhouse show at 11 a.m. Eastern related to interviewing. Join me there, and we'll be back in just one moment. Support for today's show comes from JobScan. JobScan is a site that's going to take a look at your resume, and you're going to copy and paste the job description into another field. It's going to make a comparison and give you a sense of how your resume matches up and makes recommendations for how to fix it. Again, use the link in the show notes. You'll get better results on each resume submission you make. And with that, we'll be back in one moment. I'm sure that's happened. And at the same time, firms have also learned that when they employ such tactics, they piss people off. And they're less likely to join if they think the job is paying, I'm just picking numbers at random, 120, and they come out with an offer and say, good news, how's 92? What do you think? And it just doesn't work. Usually what happens is they tell the story about how you didn't grade out to the highest level of the position. And by comparison with people internally, you're just not as strong. Well, how the hell do you know that? But they're used to throwing that stuff at you. Sometimes budgets come into play and they have to downgrade a position. You're in mid-stride on the interview process. They just keep going. They don't communicate the change, and suddenly you get a bad offer. But the question was, does that happen? Has that happened? Absolutely, without a doubt. And if you're being represented by a third-party recruiter, it may also happen because, as I saw happen on many occasions, people puff up the salary to attract people, and then they think they can persuade someone to join a firm at a lower level because they're excited about the role. So using the previous example of a job that they say pays to 120, let's say it pays to 110. Say, oh, things have changed. And you really did well, and they really want to bring you on board. And they're going to accelerate your career growth. But right now they assess you to 110, which they see as the max for you. But there's bonus, but there's whatever else, other stories they give. And they're hoping to close the deal. So again, does it happen? Without a doubt. Is it likely to happen? Can't really tell, but it does happen. And most organizations play by the rules. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few things I can do to help you with your job search beyond simply being your coach. First of all, I've got a new book out called The Right Answers to Tough Interview Questions. It is like a cookbook with answers to tons of interview questions that you're going to be asked on interviews. And if you pair it up with my other new book, The Ultimate Job Interview Framework, they are a terrific pair of books to help you with interviewing. In addition, I have a new service where you can practice mock interviews. If you go to thebiggameHunter.us/mock, I've got a service there, very inexpensive, like $99, where we have mock interviews set up. I'm going to be adding more to it very soon, but you can record your answers to them, and then I can critique them and help you perform better on them. You probably have noticed my show notes are pretty thorough with products and services that can help you with your search. And connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/thebiggamehunter. Lastly, my website has a ton of great information. That's thebiggamehunter.us. Now, if you're not ready to go there and go through the blog, put the address in your phone, thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman. So this way, when you're ready to go, you have a way of getting back to my website. Hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great!